Hi, I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories coming up on today's show. August 3rd marked a historic day for Metis War Veterans and their families. A monument was unveiled at Lac Pelletier Regional Park, honoring 16 local Metis War veterans who served in World War I, II, and the Korean War. Now, with a green light from the province to move forward with planning for a new long-term care facility in Swift Current, the Cypress Health Region is busy with the project on a number of fronts. Stable healthcare services 7 days a week has been long awaited by the residents of Shaunavon and area. And following active recruitment efforts, staffing will soon be increased at the Shaunavon Hospital and Care Centre. Thanks for joining us here today. An event honoring Metis War veterans was recently held at Lac Pelletier Regional Park. We have more in today's top story. August 3rd marked a historic day for Metis War veterans and their families. A monument was unveiled at Lac Pelletier Regional Park, honoring 16 local Metis War veterans who served in World War I, II, and the Korean War. The ceremony was steeped in tradition, from the blessing of the monument, laying of the wreaths, to the musical interlude of the Warrior's Lament. A historical event which brought together family members of the fallen soldiers who gave the ultimate sacrifice for their country.
It has such great meaning for our family because, as Cecile had mentioned before, when they came back from the war, they weren't commemorated. As she said, and I know my dad spoke of how they were disappointed in how they were treated after they returned from the war, which is so sad. So that's what makes something like this very special.
The monument is encompassed by 16 wooden poles and engraved with the names of the fallen veterans, every Métis family that lived at Lac Pelletier, and the families that homesteaded in and around the valley. A memorial which Métis elder and project coordinator Cecile Blank was pleased to finally see come to fruition.
And I'm glad the three of us that are left are here today. Alec Littlebear, he's younger than we are, and my sister and myself. We were born here, and when we're together, that is such a great feeling. And this is what this has brought about, for us to be together, to remember, and to be happy with this place, this valley, this lake.
A dedication to the Métis veterans which is long overdue and is receiving recognition by National President Clem Chartier.
To have a local community or a regional community do something such as erect a monument to the Métis veterans that served in the first two world wars and the Korean conflict, is something that's very, it grabs your attention. And when I was invited, I thought, well, I have to be there to be able to not only participate, but to thank the people that actually made this possible. It's something that we're trying to do throughout the Métis Nation homeland. It's something we're trying to do nationally at Batoche, but it's not an easy thing.
And as the new Veterans Monument stands near the entrance to Lac Pelletier Regional Park, veterans like Ed St. Pierre remind us the freedom we enjoy in Canada today is thanks in part to the men and women whose names are acknowledged in stone.
Very important. I think we have more of these because the soldiers are forgotten, but we've got to remind people what these fine old people did. Like the old word saying, old soldiers never die. That's something we have to keep up, because they did so much for us. Some of them didn't come back. Even those that did come back suffered a great deal.
The Métis Veterans Monument, valued at approximately $50,000, came to light through funding from Veterans Affairs Canada, Sask Culture, and numerous individual donations. Southwest TV News is hitting the road with our annual Summer Around the Southwest tour, covering a variety of exciting events across the region. The Southwest TV News Summer Around the Southwest tour is proudly brought to you by Innovation Credit Union. Imagine the possibilities. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Presented by Standard Motors, in partnership with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. Work continues behind the scenes for a new long-term healthcare facility in Swift Current. We have more in this report. Now, with a green light from the province to move forward with planning for a new long-term care facility in Swift Current, the Cypress Health Region is busy with the project on a number of fronts. This includes engaging interested parties to submit their proposals for the P3 project and eventually hiring contractors for construction set to start in 2014. The Cypress Health Region also received approval at the July board meeting to spend $55,000 a year over the next 3 years to rent Walker Place as a work site for planning the project. CEO Beth Vachon explains where the funding is coming from.
You know, at the end of the year when we say we have a surplus of funds and we move that into our capital reserves, because this is a capital project, we can draw on our unrestricted surplus to pay for these kinds of things. So that's where we'll be getting the money from.
Vachon adds that the Walker Place Gymnasium will also include scale models of what the new long-term facility rooms will look like. A stage in the project which they're repeating from the Maple Creek Integrated Facility.
And it gives us a chance to actually bring staff in. They can try things. We can change things. And I'll just use an example of Maple Creek. We had mocked up a full-size long-term care room and actually brought residents from our home over, and they were able to try different things, and we realized that we actually didn't have the sinks at the right level, or the desks at the right level, and the light switches weren't at the right level. So those are the kinds of things that you do, and it's just very practical, hands-on. We want to leave it set up for the full duration so that we can test and trial things and really make sure we've got things in the right places.
In the coming months, more details on the new long-term care facility will be realized, from the overall design to the construction cost, with a projected timeline of moving into the new facility by the spring of 2016. Southwest TV News will continue to follow this story as it unfolds. W.W. Smith Insurance has reached a milestone as it celebrates its centennial. Having served Southwest Saskatchewan for the past 100 years, W.W. Smith Insurance is your motor license issuer, while specializing in all of your personal and commercial needs, including home, auto, agro, business, and life insurance. W.W. Smith Insurance, independently owned and operated since 1913.
Our company helps tell your story and provides you with a solution on how to market your business. Because making a great video is only half the equation. You have to know how to use it.
We have done a major.
Following months of recruitment by the Cypress Health Region, 3 physicians are on board in Shaunavon, ensuring 7-day-a-week health care. Stable health care services 7 days a week has been long awaited by the residents of Shaunavon and area. And following active recruitment efforts, staffing will soon be increased at the Shaunavon Hospital and Care Centre.
By the middle of August, we'll have all 3 physicians in Shaunavon working out of the new clinic, of course, that we've created within the hospital space. We also have 2 nurse practitioners that are sharing a couple days a week each down there. We haven't recruited to a full-time person for that community, but we do have the ability to move our nurse practitioners where we need them, so the community will have the benefit of both a full physician complement and nurse practitioners.
A welcome improvement in services for the town of Shaunavon and its local residents.
We've been waiting a long time as a community, and there's been a lot of, disruptions and just not a very stable situation in terms of health care, and I really believe that the primary health care model that's being implemented in rural Saskatchewan is going to work, and will provide some consistency. And but I the biggest problem has been the pressure that's been on our doctors to provide the care that's being demanded, and they really need to practice just like anyone else, and be able to know that they're going to be with their families on the weekends and evenings, and this new model will allow that, and I believe it's going to work.
In addition to the increase in physicians for the community, the Cypress Health Region is still working towards a new collaborative model of health care.
We do want to get primary health care established, and again, the collaborative emergency center model really is about a good, solid primary health care base to really make sure people are getting services in the right place at the right time by the right people. And once we get our primary health care all sorted out, then we will move to the nighttime model, which is having a nurse and a paramedic work in the hospital. The physicians won't do on-call for outpatients. They're still on call for their hospital patients and long-term care, but aren't responding to the ER. So we want to have that up and running by early fall.
The Cypress Health Region has been working towards the new 7-day-a-week collaborative healthcare model in Shaunavon over the past several years, and is basing the Southwest concept on one already successful in Eastern Canada. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.